Since I got the new Bamboo Lab P1S and P2S, I've been talking a lot about string-based blasters, especially from Leedle Dynamics. That's because I love these introductory foam flinging projects that all you need is a big roll of 4mm cord and you can make so many things. But I'll admit, this is the first one of his that I almost didn't recommend. This is a break action silly shell blaster called the Nessie. It looks pretty cool, doesn't it? It just fired 3 darts out of a shell and it ejects. Well, here's the tricky little thing. It's taken me a week or so, off and on, to actually get this working. This blaster, as well as 4mm cord to drive a plunger tube that sits in here, also depends on regular household rubber bands. I had to buy so many packs of elastics and dig through them to find the perfect elastic that would fit in here. Because there's a bit of an ejection and retention mechanism in here, driven by a rubber band. Actually, multiple rubber bands are needed. One for this lever, one for the retention here, one for the catch up here. It's a lot of rubber bands. Oh, and up here too. That ejector pushes the shell against your O-ring here. So if this elastic isn't doing its job, the blaster has no power and won't fire. Leedle is a brilliant guy. I just wish that this was designed in a way that used a bit of even smaller cord that I could tie off. Other problem that I had once I found the right rubber band is I wasn't getting enough power. It just wasn't firing most of the shells. And I was just about to give up until I realized I had printed the plunger head. This is the part that goes through a cylinder and drives air volume into here and out through here and into the shell. I'd printed this in PETG. The rest of this was printed in PLA. The tiny bit of difference in the diameter of this, and if I had printed it in PLA, was enough to cause too much friction in my plunger tube. I reprinted that plunger head in PLA to match the rest of the blaster. Now the tolerances are fine, and it fires a lot of the shells. That was 6 half darts. Unlike something like the Stagecoach that's using massive springs, this is just using cord, so it doesn't always work with every silly shell. You do lose a little power compared to the Anemone by Leedle Dynamics. I had a bit more trouble with Mega XL, but it does work pretty well now. You'll honestly get better performance out of this one because it's more direct, but there's no denying that this is a pretty cool stringer. Didn't actually work that time. There we go. Not as consistent. You gotta source rubber bands, and it can be a bit finicky. But it looks awfully cool. Leedle does have a version of this that needs a bit more hardware and uses real rubber O-rings, and now I can see why, to get a better seal and better performance.